Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Run 7. How you doing? Today we're going over Deucalions, but before we get started, I want to talk about the glitched characters. We've got Green Goblin, we've got Falcon, we've got rumors of Vision, there's Killmonger. They're causing the game to lock up in the match, and you have to force close the app to get out of it, which makes it impossible to beat certain war defenses. It's happening in other nodes and stuff too, in like raids and stuff like that, I hear. So it's an issue. This is what I call the prisoner's dilemma. If you're familiar with the prisoner's dilemma in philosophy or psychology or one of those classes that I didn't pay any attention to, it's you have two prisoners, one in either room, and if one rats out the other one, he wins. If they both work together, they both win big. And if they both rat out each other, they both lose to a medium degree. Anyway, so the idea becomes, do we all put these characters on defense? Do we all try to remove them from defense and have a functioning war until Scopely fixes this? Or, do we run the risk? Well, obviously, you run the risk if you don't put them on defense and your opponents do, you're going to lose the war because you won't be able to beat certain rooms, okay? So I'm advising everybody to go ahead, put these characters into your defenses, be nice about it, put all three of them up front in your first room so that the opponents can go, oh, they're doing it, we can't beat that room, we'll skip it, we can work around it. Then you're doing the best you can. Then you're allowing the other team to have fun and play around those rooms that are totally messed up. And at the same time, you're not going to just forfeit the match because they did it and you didn't. So in the prisoner's dilemma, I'm taking the medium path and saying, go ahead and do it. Don't risk it. Don't be the one who loses out. We're all going to have a crappy war this way. It's going to kind of suck. But Scopely Boundless did this to us. It's not the player's fault. We're playing the game to our best advantage, taking advantage of everything we can to win. So, that being said, when you come across teams that, like the Sinister Six, you can take Rhino out and put Green Goblin in. It's a legitimate build so that later when they fix this and you forget about it, it's still a functioning team. Also, Rhino's good for offense right now with the X Factor team against the Brotherhood Doom comps. So anyway, they're ideas, and we'll go over them more. But let's get into Defense Up. We're going over Deucalion's defense team today, and we're gonna check on his stuff, see how that pans out. We grade on 5 different criteria: who you're using, their placement, their power levels, their ISOs, and what kind of mood I'm in. I've had my coffee. Let's get going. Team number 1 is Hydra 1.0. We've got pretty good setup here. I think that we should change. Sorry about the desk right here. We just moved. I need to get something green put over it. I can't move the desk out of the way. We need to get Fortifier on this guy. Frankly, I kind of like Fortifier on everybody on this team just because of the death and revive mechanic. Otherwise, I think maybe get some power in like these guys over here. You kind of want to have them all at an equal power so that there's no good target. If they're coming in with like a punch down team to just sustain and knock all those charges off, you kind of want everybody in an equal power level so there's no good choice on who to target. Because it doesn't matter who you kill the first 8 times, you just got to kill somebody 8 times. So don't give them a good choice. I think you should. These ISOs are acceptable. This one's probably the worst one right here because the rejuves don't really happen. This one over here, he has a healing mechanic, so that's okay for healer. But I prefer Fortifier on all of them. And then, if you really want to make this team tough, put Zemo on it. It's twice as tough with Zemo on it. All right, I'm gonna give you a C for this team. It's nothing exciting. The placement doesn't matter. Your ISOs don't matter so much. It's just kind of meh. If you had Zemo in here, I'd probably be giving you a B. And then if you really want to toughen it up, you put Zemo plus some other people in here, and it gets crazy tough. But for right now, it's good. It's something to do. I wouldn't bother investing in it too much. It's a low-level team, but it's all right. Shield, Fury Coulson, standard-ass Shield team. Placement's pretty good. Your ISOs are good. Yeah, that's all right. I think maybe you should go Fortifier on your tank now. With these power leapt characters coming in, they kill people so fast that the rejuves don't happen. So it's better to go with Fortifier, making the character tougher when if they get revived. Yeah, I like this setup. I think you're doing everything right. You should definitely even out the power levels. You know, you got 107, 119 here. Why don't you come up to about 70 on everybody? Be sure you're at least gear tier 12, 6664 on all these characters. However, putting Kestrel on this team in place of Assaulter is really good. Makes the team much, much harder. Also, you could try the Inhumans hybrid composition of this, which is like Black Bolt, Crystal, Yo-Yo plus Coulson, and then your choice of Medic, Surfer, Fury if you want. Kestrel works in there too. But this is the classic build. It's okay. I think you should probably be thinking about more hybrid comps at this point, because this is so old and outdated that 300k Brotherhood comes in here, crushes this. Yeah, so I think you should update that, but otherwise you're doing it right, so it's a B for this team. We've got Mercs with Shuri. As I said before, I think Shuri's becoming less and less exciting for me. I think you should maybe consider going after Korath the Pursuer for his pure speed alone. Korath doesn't do much. That ability block barely has a chance of landing anywhere on anything. However, because he's so fast, you get that extra triple combo with Taskmaster. And you do have his ISO set to Skirmisher. That's good. I like Striker here. I like Striker here on Killmonger rather than Raider. I know he's got the synergy with the Raider tag, but on this team you want Strikers and Skirmisher on Taskmaster. So I would recommend you get rid of Shuri. You don't have to. This is a very acceptable build. You're doing everything right other than this one ISO on Killmonger, and your placement is off. You need to swap positions with Taskmaster and Merc Riot Guard. Merc Riot Guard gives out deflects to adjacent characters, so you do not want him on the end. I know he's a tank, but these days, just because they taunt doesn't mean you should put him on the outside. So swap placement, change that ISO. Bring up your power level on Taskmaster. He's the linchpin of the team. So there you go. That's a C for that. You got lots to work on there. Okay, it's a Hero Brawler team. I think that you should replace Spider-Man with Captain Marvel. Bring up the power levels on these two. And you want to change her to a Striker or a Healer. Raider's a bad choice. Striker or Healer on her. I prefer Striker, even though she's not attacking every time. I still think Striker's the way to go. You got a great big Miss Marvel. That's good. Hashtag nerf America Chavez right there. Look at that, 7 red stars blowing the walls off that. Yeah, definitely put Captain. I mean, with the 7 red stars on America Chavez, you're trying to use this team. I get it. You want to play with it. It's fun. Hero Brawlers is a fun team. But put Captain Marvel in here. Bring up the power level on these two. Change them all to Striker Skirmisher combo off of Miss Marvel. And you might consider putting Miss Marvel to the outside. You're kind of screwing this team up with the ISOs, the placement, the power levels, and the character choices. I'm giving you a C- for this team. It could be an actual functioning Hero Brawler team. You just got to put a lot of work into it. I mean, the power levels on these two alone make this team a little bit formidable. Team number 5 is a hybrid. Here's your Captain Marvel. Yeah, get her off of this team. This team ain't doing anything. This team's kind of garbage. There's your Korath the Pursuer for your Merc team. Yeah. You wanted to use Ultimus. I don't know why. Ultimus is pretty garbage. You could use Ultimus on that Merc team, actually. Yeah, you could. He goes in there and he does some things with against the Skilletary team. He's good against that. Oh, what's his name? Red Guardian on the Skilletary team. So you could use both of these guys on your Merc team. You need to change if you're going to run this team, this hybrid that you're using. You need to change him to a Raider. You have 4 Strikers and no one putting out vulnerables. So you're not getting any value out of those Strikers. So I would change him to a Raider. Change her to a Skirmisher maybe. Then keep these 3 as Strikers. But honestly, break this team up. Use him on your Mercs. Use him, I don't know, on your bench. Then you put Captain Marvel on that Hero Brawler team. These two are basically useless. You could just make a Kree minion team with Ronin if you want. I mean, you probably got, you know, you're old school. You probably got some value, some investment in your Kree minions. They suck, but whatever. It's something that they have to spend energy on. I really don't like this team. I don't like the ISOs. Placement isn't going to matter. Yeah, I kind of think this is a waste of resources. I'm going to give you an F for this. This is just, yeah. I mean, look at the investment you put in Ultimus, and he's just not good. I might try him on the Merc team, see what you think, but break this team up, use something else. Team number 6. Okay, this is the Tech Nerva, or Tech Wing, I think we used to call it. Tech Nerva? Tech Nerva, I don't know. Okay, Striker, Skirmisher, you got those 3 set up just right. Healer on her, Raider on him. ISOs are good. Placement is pretty good. You got him in the middle, that's right. You could put a little more juice into Rocket if you're going to run this team. It's not worth investing in this team because it's really, really down on the list of things you can do. But you already have these people built up and you want to use them. The other thing you can do is get rid of Vision and put somebody in there like Drax. That initial taunt actually makes it really tough to get through Drax and get where you want to go with this team. Vision's just, man, Vision used to be a top 10 character. Now he's like a bottom 10 character. He's really terrible. I kind of like what you're doing here. You're not wasting any resources and you're using this team correctly. It's a B team. Bring up the power level here. You could consider replacing him with Drax. You're doing okay, though. I like that you got the combo set up here. For those who don't know, Skirmisher on Groot allows these two to call Groot 50% of the time, and then they get the triple hit, quadruple hit combo off of Star-Lord. So you get a lot of damage with this setup. It's the way to go. All right, next team, number 7, Marauders. Yes, A for the team. Got it just right. You could build up their power levels a little bit more, but they're not worth investing in. You could replace them with characters like Doom or Minerva. But you're using them elsewhere, or you don't have Doom unlocked. Also, this team is getting to the point where it's like we should just break this up and do hybrids. Emma's being used on offense against some like hero for hire counters, I hear. I don't understand how that works. I think because she cleanses the other team or something. But with Shang-Chi coming in, that's not going to happen anymore. It's going to be IW or nothing. Yeah, I'll give you an A for this. It's fine. You got everything going on. Bring her up to level 5 healer. Can't go wrong with that. And that's it. Yeah, good job. All right, team number 8 is your Heroes for Hire with JJ as a 5th. We will be replacing JJ with Shang-Chi soon. You have the placement correct. You have the ISOs correct. Although I'm recommending now that we go with Fortifier on Luke Cage. He's too slow to get those rejuves off, much like the Hydra 1.0 team. They die, they revive, they die, they revive. And they're usually dying before they take a turn to get that rejuve. So the rejuves just don't happen. He has healer because he has healing built into his kit. It happens every turn and you get lots of value out of the healer, ISO 8. Whereas Luke Cage is just somebody you got to get through. So make him a Fortifier. Otherwise, things are looking good. Get the stars on these two when you can. Get Shang-Chi in here when you can. Don't put any more into your JJ. When Shang-Chi comes out, she will be one of the most useless characters in the game. Unfortunately, you have brought her to a quite high level. It was fun while it lasted, but put her on the bench. All right. I think you're doing everything right so far. Other than that one ISO, I'm going to give you A- for that team. This has been Deucalion's Defense Up review. Remember, it's your choice whether you want to put those broken tunes on your defense or not. I'm recommending you go ahead and do it. Don't feel guilty about it. It's not your fault that Boundless screwed this up. Remember, don't just have a good game. Be good to yourself and others too. Thanks. Bye.